What is going on, everyone's? We here and we back with another episode of
Is My Point Valid?
Yes, indeed. I am Brandon D.
And I am Camille A. Stocker.
And this is Stocker Family Values as a whole, as a collective. You feel me? Shout out to us. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this episode started with What You Know Good. So, hit them in the head one time for them, baby.
All right. So, first up, I am on an audiobook, and it is called The Last Enforcer. Outrageous stories from the life and times of one of the NBA's fiercest competitors, Charles Oakley. His book is very, very different.
Buster Charles.
Then reading Scottie Pippen's, his friendship, his foreword is from Michael Jordan. And it was like, okay, they really
ain't do
friends.
Scottie Pippen for?
Absolutely not.
Oh man!
But this book so far, he's just telling stories about the teams that he was with. Which is interesting. It's interesting. I haven't finished it yet, but it's really
anybody
good.
who knows basketball, we know Charles Oakley as a head buster.
Yeah,
he gonna bust a head. You better not say nothing to him. You better not bump up against him too tough or anything like that. He gonna bust your head. But anyway,
He said people always saying I punched Charles Barkley. He said I ain't punch him. I slapped the shit out of him. But I ain't punch him. That was funny. So yeah, I'm listening to that and I'm enjoying that. Next up on What You Know Good, we watched The Color of Medicine, the story of Homer G. Phillips Hospital, and this was the only black hospital in St. Louis, Missouri from 1937 until 1979.
Shout out to St. Louis.
They had all black staff, all black nurses, people who needed to do residencies, black people who needed to do residencies, went to Homer G. Phillips Hospital and learned what they needed to learn from everybody, like all these black people. It was amazing to watch. And I watched this on Tubi, so Tubi is free. If you're interested,
Tubi doing their thing for the black community. Y'all better open your eyes.
I was like, wow. So that was really good. It was closed like in 1979 on purpose. They had still had patients in the hospital, still had workers in the hospital, but the police closed it off, and the way they did them was dirty. It is now a senior living facility, but people don't see it as, the Homer G. Phillips Hospital. So yeah, a legacy. Just knowing more about that. Last on What You Know Good. A couple of months ago, it was like a month ago, there was this homeschooler. His name is Jacob Rush. He was a homeschool student with Abeka Academy. If you don't know how homeschool works, there are online and physical schools that you can still attend that are homeschool. But anyway, they would not let him walk because of his locks, because of his hair. So there was a petition. It reached 100,000 plus signatures. I was one of those signatures. And now he is able to walk. A while ago, I did want to do an episode on this, but it would have been the same thing that we always talk about. We stay trying to fit
it's
into.
Not
it's not fair. And the only reason that I did sign, it might sound whatever, is because he went through all that schooling, and so
they tried
not to let him
put their foot on his neck.
You can Google it, but yeah, all these homeschool certified things, it still wasn't set up for
these things.
So that's all I have for What You Know Good.
Alrighty then. We're going to keep it on and moving, chugging along with the topic. So we're going to go ahead and get into the topic, which is going to be,
what's your pleasure?
All right. Little reference.
All right. So DJ Envy and his wife Gia are coming out with a book, and I guess they were writing about everything in their marriage or what they've been going through. Excuse me. And one of the conversations that they had, or that has hit the internet, and they also did an interview on the Shade Room. It was about her faking the pleasure.
And we ain't talking about her income.
a lot of women have no idea what it feels like to have an orgasm through sexual intercourse. They know how to do it themselves, or they know how to do it through oral sex, but through sexual intercourse, a lot of women just don't know. Now, if you don't know, how do you expect your man to know?
Mm-hmm.
I especially didn't know. So we would be intimate and he would be putting his best foot forward. Like, he is in the business of satisfying, just all around.
All right.
Just no. I'm not. I'm talking about your mentality overall,
Just
like,
all around.
just in life. Like, he lives to make me happy, and he puts his best foot forward in that realm. So I would see him trying and really going to work, and I'm sure so many women can relate. Like, you want to reward that man for that work, and the only reward that you have to offer is an orgasm. But even if I didn't feel it, I would still be performative. So yes, I was faking it. But once you start, how do you stop?
Okay.
You fake it till you make it.
Faking the pleasure for 10 years, which led to a drop in his ego,
Lord
and toxicity in their marriage, which they are
then he
saying,
light skinned, so that
which they are saying that because of this lie that she told, it led him to infidelity.
Lord.
So that's not what I really care about. I don't care if that led to infidelity or all that other mess.
Sounds light skinned to me.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
So why say it?
It's light skinned.
What? Okay. So basically I was like, wait, 10 years of pretending? Man, you hurt that man's heart. But anyway, the question that I have is it the man's job to make a woman feel good? And I will say this, when I did watch the interview clip of that part, she did say that she did not know her body, and they had been together since they like in high school. So he was the only person that I think they were honest. I think they were both the only people that each other had been with. So she didn't like have any other type of
She didn't have no reference.
Right. It was just her husband. So I asked this question, which I already know the answer to, but is it the man's job to make a woman feel good?
I don't think so. Oh, yeah. Thank you, baby. Make me feel good. I'm pleasured. But anyway, I feel like if I don't think it's his responsibility. I don't know. Cause most men be like, I got mine. You better get yours.
And in the interview, it was kind of saying like he thought he was, which comes
that boy there. He was like, wasn't doing nothing.
So you don't think it's the man's job?
Say, I think this. Once you figure out that the man can't handle his business, it's on you to do what you need to do to make the business handle yourself. However that looks for you. They got a lot of options out here.
Okay, so I don't think it's the man's job to make a woman feel good. I think that you take it upon yourself if something is missing, to say, hey.
I want to know why she waited so long to say something. Did she just not know that she was supposed to be feeling pleasure? Did she feel pleasure?
She said she was like, it was out of spite. They were having an argument, and it was he was trying to
oh Lord, that's a whole nother something.
Yeah, like,
so they had a fight, and she was like, "That's why you never make me."
Kinda, yeah. That's what I had got from it.
I can see how that broke his heart.
Yeah, it was like all these that
boy's
years,
jaw probably hit the ground.
I had to fight. So my next thing is, why fake it? And the other thing to that,
because she ain't want to bust that man ego all up.
The other thing to that is,
had that man feeling like a crumb.
What I thought was goofy was
this whole situation goofy.
Was like making noise doesn't equate.
So say y'all in there making sex noise and ain't feeling nothing.
He said she was making noises.
Shit,
he said she was making noises. I was like, wait.
Man, your kids probably thought you was in there killing her.
Making noise doesn't equate
to pleasure. Say that boy was like, I'm the man in here. Just didn't know.
So that, like, man, that is sex 101. Like,
Lord
just because you make a lot of noise, God,
she probably had her eyes rolling in the back of her head on some fake stuff too. Like,
just because you make a lot of noise, so why fake it? Like, I don't understand.
Did he not ever look at her while she was faking it?
I don't know what. Look, I don't know.
Say, you got to know something.
Now that I'm thinking about it,
that boy
I'm
probably
questioning.
now that he thinking about it, he like, oh yeah, I remember, and all them times
for 10 years.
10 years, that boy ain't did nothing.
That's crazy.
That boy was doing nothing.
And then the next question that I have, we're kind of moving through this kind of quickly. Although it's this faking thing, and there was a statistic. I forgot to look at the statistic that a lot of women do not know or have never experienced pleasure, right? And I think it was like 80%, and it was just like, why
80% have never?
Hold on, let me see.
Man, what y'all doing out here? Y'all tripping, man. Say, man, I don't know what y'all doing, man.
I forgot to look it up.
So I mean, man, God, dog, 80% of women ain't felt no pleasure.
I think I read that. Don't get me.
Y'all just out here dry humping.
What?
Lord have mercy.
Oh, and
bless y'all souls.
2015.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Wait.
We need some 45 orgasms.
It says right here, 81.6% of women don't orgasm for intercourse alone.
And that's in 2020.
That's just 2022.
Yep. So that means
that's a lot.
That means 95% of you niggas, you dudes out there.
No, and I'm not trying to be funny. That means that women. Now that goes to the next part of the question that I have. That means that we are not having a conversation and saying, this is what I would like you to do, or it's like.
But then in their situation, it may be because they don't know.
Right. She said she didn't know. I think in
a lot of cases that's the issue, because yeah.
She said she did not know. And so when you don't know, and you have to learn something for yourself, of course, but then you see, because you see a lot of married people, right? Like, and I'm talking about married people. Because I'm married, right? You see a lot of, you do see, or you hear a lot of women say, well, I don't know if I'm being pleasured or all that. It was like, yo.
You don't know.
You don't know, but it's not, I get it. But it's like, if you want somebody to make you feel a way, you kind of have to lead them and kind of teach them, right? You did okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that this conversation is not being had. Yeah, we have sex, but that's like, it's an intimacy towards it. People view it as this. People do it, but it's this taboo topic of like what will make you feel good during it. That makes sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, what doesn't make sense is this situation.
Okay, we're not off, or forget their situation. I'm asking just in general, like, okay, here goes the question. Why is the pleasure or sex conversation hard to communicate with our significant others?
Because don't nobody want to feel less than.
But how would somebody feel less than if you're...
Because if I'm thinking I'm pleasuring you and I ain't, and you tell me I ain't.
But I'm saying beforehand. Okay, before you even start or whatever, or if it's your first time.
You talking about during the
initial, yeah.
I don't know.
Like once you get that's serious, weird. That's not weird. No, I don't think it's weird. If you are out here having sex and it's just like, okay, la la la, I'm here to play. I'm gonna let you get your pleasure, but you can't. But I can't. Like this is a conversation.
Obviously not.
Because a lot of people are not having this conversation.
They scared.
It is God dog. Is reaching this for a woman to a man like an ego boost, or does this make a man feel better because he knows that a woman is being pleasured?
Say it again.
Like, is that an ego boost for a man?
To know that he's out here pleasuring folks?
Okay, I hope not folks.
I mean, yeah, I would think so.
Oh my gosh!
If he knows,
you're not giving.
If he know, because all of this is, I don't know. I think it's an ego boost.
That's
if a guy is out here and he knows that he is a pleasurable guy, or he's giving pleasure to
what if
women,
somebody's faking it?
I mean, hey, that's what people do.
What if they're faking it?
They always fake it. People always fake it. That's why we're having this conversation.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I mean, we just got to get past the scariness and have the conversation just like you said.
Why are we, I think it's women. Why do you, I think women are afraid or scared to say
exactly what they want.
Exactly what they want because of, excuse me, maybe past experiences. Maybe they don't feel like they're worthy enough to say, okay, in this, or you grew up in, you make a man feel good. Like, your goal is to make a man feel good. You have no right to feel good. You get what I'm saying?
A man gonna feel good anyway.
Oh.
He gonna feel good regardless. If he goes into it, he's gonna make himself feel good. So I think it's the responsibility of the other party to make themselves feel good. If that's what you want.
If that's what you want.
Yeah.
If that's what you want.
Yeah, because if you're not talking about it, he's not gonna know. So you need to do these things. You need to lead by example. You need to show him when you in the process, so he'll know that, oh, these are the things that pleasures this woman. And these are the things that I need to start doing so she won't have to do them herself. But that's all in if that man wants to put that much energy into that.
That's right. That's why I was kind of saying, like, married people, because I feel like if you're married, then you do want to put, or you should.
If you're married, there's no reason why you shouldn't have this conversation.
Right. We should be having this conversation. And if you go back to DJ Envy and his wife, that was 10 years in. Mm-hmm.
But their situation is kind of different because they started out with each other. Their whole sexual life was with each other. So if they're not learning together, then they're probably not learning at all.
And they
young. Came into it together.
Right. And didn't have, it was just what he said. He thought he was just going in.
He thought he was.
And she was just
having conversations with his homeboys. I mean, and he's hearing conversations of what they're doing to pleasure theirs. Mm-hmm. And he's probably trying the same thing, but it's not pleasurable to his wife because pleasure is different for everybody.
Right.
You can't listen to a conversation and go home and try to mimic that and then expect the same results.
Yeah.
It don't work like that.
Yeah.
So if you're not actively seeking the knowledge to know how to act to pleasure your woman, mm-hmm. then you're going to be out here thinking you are and you really ain't. Message.
I feel like we just need to have a conversation. We need to stop being afraid. We need to stop bringing, like, if you're moving into a new
I wouldn't say we need to stop. We need to work on these things.
Don't stop being scared.
No, I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying stop. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying it takes work. It takes like you say, having a conversation, getting out there, making your needs and your expectations heard.
Right. And I think a lot of, like I was saying, I think a lot of women be like, well, my needs are, I can put my needs on the back burner, and then you just go along to get along as long as he's all right.
Because I'm gonna tell you, most men, if you're not showing a man your needs, he probably ain't paying no attention anyway. Because telling him we're hands-on people. Show me how to treat you, and I treat you like that. Don't tell me how to. Because if I didn't come up from the background that you came from, I wouldn't even know how that looks anyway. So I need to be visual. Show me how to treat you, and I treat you like that.
Even sexually?
Yes. Show me how to treat you. Was I pleasuring you in the beginning before you showed yourself how to treat yourself? Exactly. Let's be real. It takes work on your part to make yourself feel better. Because your partner don't know.
Yeah.
But he can do things to help your process along.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's all about communication.
We
always go back to communication. Communication.
I think that should be like the first thing, like before anything, because
we all need to go through a communicating class.
What did we go through before we got married? What was that thing called? What is that called?
Marriage counseling.
Marriage counseling.
Yeah.
You need a communication class.
So we went, a little backstory. We went through marriage counseling to see if we were even compatible to get married.
Yeah.
So maybe that needs to be a part of the process. Talk to God. See how you feel about it before you get into it.
I did this morning. I had read a post in that marriage club thingy on Facebook, and there was this man. He was saying he married the wrong person, and it was not of God, and he knew it was not of God, and
he wanted what he wanted.
He wanted what he wanted. I was like, dang, that's bold to say. But then he said they divorced, but it was ugly because it was ugly.
It wasn't the person he was supposed to be with.
And so now the picture that he showed was him marrying his new wife, and he was saying this is of God. Like everybody approves. We having this conversation. We did premarital, all this and this,
all
and
that.
So I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Show you right.
I know everybody takes it differently. I know whatever, but just have a conversation. What'll please you, what'll work in your relationship. That's what it all boils down to. Yeah. But and have that conversation.
It's on an individual basis as well.
Absolutely.
You can't go into your new relationship thinking you're going to pleasure your new woman with your old woman stroke game. But anyway, moving right along. Before we go ahead and get on up out of here, you know we got to hit him in the head. Back.
Wait. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
What's your, don't tell us your pleasure, but tell us, do you think there should be a conversation before sex, before pleasure? Is it the woman's job?
How long have you been in your relationship and ain't been getting pleasured?
Oh, no.
Lord have mercy. There's some people out there, though.
It's work. You got to work at it. And you got to figure out your body. You got to figure out your body before you can have somebody else try and
figure your
body out.
Gotta know how to lead.
What's your pleasure, guys?
What is your pleasure?
Alrighty
then. But like I was saying before I was interrupted, not rudely, but interrupted nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and hit him in the head one time with On This Day in Black History. So today is April 25th. So on this day in 1950, Charles Chuck Cooper was the first black man drafted into the NBA with the Boston Celtics, choosing him with the 14th overall pick. Shout out to my boy, Chuck. Did his thing back in 1950. Hey, black people out here doing amazing things. We've been doing amazing things.
Absolutely.
If you don't think so, you need to read between the lines. Because we in there. Show you right. But we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. I'm going to let you say your line.
Oh, man. Okay. I pray. Y'all have a blessed day, a blessed weekend, a blessed week. And we will see you next time on Is My Point Valid?
Yeah. And we out this thing.
Bye.
Y'all be blessed.